Okay, so time feels weird. Here are 10 quick psychology facts that explain why. Have you ever noticed how some days just fly by and other days feel like they last forever? Like when you're playing your favorite video game, hours can feel like minutes, but 5 minutes of a boring class feels like an eternity. It's not just you. This happens to everyone. Your brain is playing tricks on you, and today we are going to expose those tricks. All right, first up, time flies when you're having fun. This is probably the most famous one, and there's a simple reason for it. When you're enjoying something, like winning a challenge or just hanging out with your best friends, your brain gets totally absorbed. It stops paying attention to the clock ticking away in the background. Instead, all your mental energy is focused on the awesome thing happening right in front of you. Your brain basically says, "This is too good, I don't have time to track time." Because you're not creating memories of time passing, but memories of the fun experience. The whole period feels way shorter when you look back. It's like your brain is so engaged in the moment that it literally forgets to count the minutes. Think about the best party you ever went to. You probably remember the music, the laughs, the crazy moments, but the actual hours? They just vanished. Your brain prioritizes the good stuff and edits out the boring parts, like watching paint dry. It's an incredible, built-in feature to make good times feel seamless and amazing. Chapter 2. Next up, new experiences slow time down. This is the complete opposite, and it's super interesting. When you do something for the very first time, like visiting a new country or trying a crazy new food, your brain goes into overdrive. It's recording everything. Every new sight, sound, and smell is a brand new piece of data that needs to be processed and stored. This intense recording process creates a ton of new, detailed memories. It's like your brain is filming a movie in 4K Ultra HD instead of its usual blurry webcam mode. So, when you look back on that period, you have this huge library of rich, detailed memories to pull from. Because there are so many individual memory files packed into that short time, your brain interprets the duration as being much longer than it actually was. This is why your first day at a new school or job feels like it lasted a week. Your brain was working overtime to map out the new environment, creating a dense mental tapestry. More memories equals a longer perceived experience. It's that simple. Chapter 3. Fact number 3. Attention changes time perception. This one is all about focus. Think of your brain as having a gatekeeper for time. If you're bored and constantly checking your phone or staring at a clock, you're basically holding the gate wide open and watching every single second crawl by. You're giving your full attention to the passage of time itself, which makes it feel agonizingly slow. Each tick of the clock is a major event. It's mental torture. But when you're completely absorbed in a task, like editing a video, solving a difficult puzzle, or trying to beat a deadline, that attention gate slams shut. Your brain is so focused on the challenge that it doesn't have any resources left to monitor the clock. Time just slips by unnoticed. It's only when you finally look up hours later that you realize how much time has passed. Your focus literally starved the time tracking part of your brain, making the period feel like it just vanished into thin air. Chapter 4. Here's a big one that everyone feels. Age affects the perceived speed of time. As we get older, years feel like they go by quicker and quicker. This isn't just a feeling. There's real psychology behind it. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is a massive 20% of your entire life. New experiences, learning to read, making new friends. It feels like an eternity. Your brain is constantly building its world model from scratch. But when you're 50 years old, 1 year is only 2% of your life. It's a much smaller, almost insignificant fraction of your total existence. Plus, by that age, you've fallen into routines. You've seen a lot done, a lot fewer firsts, because each year represents a smaller slice of your life pie and contains less novel information. Your brain processes it much faster. The years start to blur together, and before you know it, another decade has flown by. It's a crazy, perspective-shifting phenomenon. Chapter 5. Number 5 is all about feelings. Emotional intensity warps time. Strong emotions, extreme fear, pure joy can totally mess with your internal clock. Think about a near-miss car accident. People often report that the event seemed to happen in slow motion. This is because during a moment of intense fear, your brain's amygdala goes into hyper-alert mode. It starts recording memories with an incredible amount of detail to help you survive similar situations in the future. This flood of super detailed information stretches out the perceived duration of the event. It's like your brain turns on a high-speed camera. On the flip side, moments of intense joy can sometimes feel fleeting because your focus is on the feeling itself, not the details of the environment. Similar to the time flies when you're having fun effect. Depending on where your attention is directed by the emotion, outward to the threat or inward to the feeling, time can either stretch out like taffy or shrink in a flash. Chapter 6. Okay, fact 6. Routine compresses time and memory. This explains why your work week can feel like it disappeared in the blink of an eye. When you do the same thing every single day, wake up, commute, work, commute, sleep, your brain goes on autopilot. It doesn't need to create new, distinct memories for each day because they're all basically the same. Why waste energy recording the same boring drive to work for the 500th time? Instead, your brain just lumps all those similar experiences together into one single blurry memory file labeled Work Week. Monday, Friday, fine blur. When you look back, you don't have 5 distinct days of memories. You just have one generic work memory. This lack of unique memory markers makes long periods of time feel incredibly short in hindsight. It's the ultimate time heist, and your daily routine is the culprit. To fight this, you have to break the routine and create unique memories. Chapter 7. This next one is a total mind-bender, the holiday paradox. Vacations often feel really long while you're on them, but when you look back, they feel incredibly short. What is up with that? While you're on vacation, especially in a new place, you're having tons of novel experiences. As we learned earlier, this makes time feel slower in the moment. Every day is packed with new sights, new foods, and new activities, so the days feel full and long. But here's the paradox. When you get home and look back a week later, the whole trip can feel like it was over in a flash. This often happens because the experiences might not have been meaningfully distinct in your memory. The days blend into a general memory of beach time exploring the city. Unless you make a conscious effort to create unique anchor point memories each day, the whole trip can get compressed in your mind into one big, happy but short-lived event. It's a classic case of perception versus memory, you know? Get ready for number 8. Predictability speeds up time perception. This is closely related to routine, but it's about expectations. When you know exactly what's going to happen next, your brain doesn't have to work very hard. If you're watching a movie for the 10th time, you know every line, every scene, every jump scare. Your brain can just kick back and relax. No surprises. It doesn't need to allocate resources to process new information. This lack of mental effort affects your sense of time. Because your brain is in low power mode, time feels like it's moving much more quickly. There's no cognitive friction to slow it down. This applies to anything predictable. Your daily commute, your weekly meeting, listening to your favorite song over and over. The more predictable something is, the less brain power it needs, and the faster it seems to go. To slow down time, introduce a little chaos and unpredictability. Number 9 is a deep one that affects your entire life. Your time perspective affects your decisions. Psychologists have found that people generally see their future time in one of 2 ways, either as vast and endless or as limited and finite. This perspective dramatically changes how you act. Younger people who often feel like they have all the time in the world tend to prioritize experiences that will pay off in the long run, learning new skills, building a huge network of friends. But as people get older, they start to see time as a precious, limited resource. When this happens, their priorities change. They stop focusing on the distant future and start prioritizing emotionally meaningful goals in the present, spending quality time with loved ones. Realizing that the clock is ticking makes you focus on what truly matters to you right now. It's a powerful psychological shift that shapes your biggest life choices. And our final fact, number 10. Mindfulness can slow down subjective time. This is a real-life superpower you can learn. Mindfulness is the practice of paying close, deliberate attention to the present moment without judgment. When you do this, whether it's focusing on your breath, the taste of your food, the sounds around you, you are essentially forcing your brain to process more information about the now. You're noticing details you would normally ignore completely. This process of adding rich detail and texture to your present experience has an amazing side effect. It makes time feel fuller and slower. You are manually creating the same conditions as a novel experience. By intentionally noticing the little things, you are creating more memory markers for any given period, which stretches your perception of it. So if you ever feel like life is rushing by too fast, the solution is simple. Stop. Take a breath. Pay attention. You can literally slow down time just by focusing your mind. And there you have it. 10 facts that prove the time on the clock is totally different from the time in your head. It's not a fixed, constant thing. It's a flexible, subjective experience you can influence. We covered these super fast. Which one blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, hit like and subscribe for more quick facts.